So as I started getting really into design, biology, and architecture through all sorts of projects, at the same time I happened to watch a bunch of Miyazaki movies. I had already been a big fan of Miyazaki, but through the frame of all my newfound interests, I saw something new, which was how all those things connected. More specifically, I saw how Miyazaki connected human civilization with nature through representations of nature mending with architecture and the design of cities and buildings. To say the least, I was profoundly inspired, and I felt a strong connection to Miyazaki's message since I myself had begun to become aware of how nature mingled with man-made structure. Also, given my past projects like the aquaponics pothos system, I had already had an idea of what it meant to purposely introduce nature into indoor spaces. So what this all led to was that whenever I looked at my window, I saw plainness, or rather an opportunity to bring together those interests in plants, biology, and design with the fresh and powerful inspiration I had drawn from Miyazaki. So I found a bunch of Miyazaki's stills, like the ones I showed you before, and did a little bit of sketching and thinking. What I landed on was a trellis for growing plants along my wall and surrounding the window. I had a weird fascination with climbing plants, and I also noticed the prevalence of such plants in Miyazaki's films, like vines and shrubs and things like that. So the way this trellis system works is, this is the planter where the plants are actually going to be grown, and then this is my bed, and then the trellis will come all the way up to my top of my aquarium, over the aquarium on the wall. It's going to be about 1 inch out from the wall, over the aquarium, to the window, and then basically form like a Z shape around the window and the aquarium in the empty wall space. And then we're going to have a trellis around the window itself so we can get the vines growing really close to the window. And then this area is just going to be blank. So I got to building, and to start I cut some galvanized steel wire to size. I had to get a little creative to find a way to attach the steel wire onto the walls, so I used galvanized 3/8-inch threaded rod hangers, which are used to attach pipes to walls and ceilings. I attached the pipe hangers to the walls with drywall anchors, and then threaded on a 1-inch long 3/8-inch bolt with 2 nuts and a washer on it to sandwich the wire into place. To attach the wire to the window frame, I used a 90-degree variant of the same style of pipe hanger. I screwed these into the inside of the window frame and threaded the bolts into them just the same. In areas where I couldn't get any type of pipe hanger, I used these little fasteners that are half screw, half threaded rod. I chucked the threaded rod part into the drill and screwed the fasteners into the wood. Then I used smaller nuts and washers to sandwich the wire and hold it into place, just like with the bigger bolts. And that was basically it. As for the plants, I ordered some star jasmine, and I chose this plant because it's an evergreen and because it flowers with a fragrant smell, which would mean that the plant would contribute to the design in not just a visual way, but also through an olfactory dimension, which I thought was something that was pretty cool. Unfortunately, I couldn't really get these plants to flourish. I tried growing them both hydroponically and in soil. Also, I think it might be a little bit impractical to grow these plants indoors because when they flower and the flowers fall off, it will become kind of messy and not that convenient. In conclusion, I think this project makes a big difference to the ambiance of my room. It feels wild, but at the same time very deliberate and contained, and I can't wait for the plants to start growing out. I think the most important part is striking the perfect balance between the natural beauty and functionality of the plants while maintaining the cleanliness and comfort we enjoy of indoor spaces. Thanks for watching, and subscribe if you want to follow more of my projects.